Long, and this is my Day I Was Born speech. It's pretty safe to assume that nearly everyone has some kind of telephone or uses a telephone on a daily basis, whether it's a cell phone like an iPhone or an Android, or even just a basic landline phone. It's a primary form of communication within our society now, and that has evolved significantly over time since the invention of the very first telephone by Alexander Graham Bell. Alexander Graham Bell was born on March 3rd, 1834, which is about 162 years prior to my own birth. His invention of the telephone was extremely innovative for the time period and is also influential today, which is evident in the evolution from the original telephone to the cell phone that we know and use today. According to an article by Chelsea Henderson titled "The History of the Telephone," Alexander Graham Bell's first prototype for his phone was the vibraphone. He invented this in 1875, and it was not actually a working telephone, but he was still able to file a patent for this product, which would later become the telephone. Prior to his invention of the telephone, the telegraph was the main form of communication within society. It was where Morse code was transmitted along a wire through companies like Western Union, and you were not able to hear the voice of the person you were receiving the message from, which made it significantly less personal and definitely less convenient than our cell phones are to us today. Now to move on to how the telephone evolved into the cell phone. In a CBS News article from December 16th, 2014, Alexander Trowbridge says, "Phones have become the indispensable technology of our time, a trend experts say will continue and intensify in the future. Phones have moved on from just being able to send voice messages to someone to becoming like miniature pocket computers. You can check social media, check your email, FaceTime, call a lot of people, which goes beyond just the simple communication of a phone call. The cameras on cell phones nowadays rival those of professional cameras, and the processors within them are similar to those of high-speed computers. Unlike the original telephone invented by Alexander Graham Bell, cell phones today serve more as a gateway to anyone or anything you could potentially want to interact with or communicate with on a daily basis and at the tip of your fingertips. Alexander Graham Bell's invention was more than just the creation of a new device, which is what it seemed like at the time. His invention changed the way that we communicate, and through the evolution into the cell phone, changed the way we interact with the world around us, and for that we can thank Alexander Graham Bell, because who knows how we'd be communicating without him.